All right, everyone, that is the last match of the first half of the broadcast done. We're going to be going on for a few more hours, but we will take a small break. The next match, you said, 6:20 or 18:20, depending where exactly you live in the world, Eve time. But before we go, that was a pretty good win for Hydra out there.
I think this is actually a good example of, we were talking about the electronic attack frigates just before this match. Here we saw two teams, both with damps. Those drakes were probably damp fed on the unaffiliated team. However, since the electronic attack frigates lock faster, they were able to damp those out of the competition, and therefore it was smooth sailing from there on in.
Yeah, it pretty much was. So we had a few. Oh, it wasn't really close. It was pretty much just a full-out rout. Was it just a rush setup on behalf of Hydra that just worked entirely well without no counter?
It wasn't really a rush setup because they had the damping frigates, who of course will be running the opposite way of anything that can do any damage whatsoever. It would have been interesting to see how those Sleipnirs were set up. It sounded a little bit like artilleries. I didn't see the field there. So those were perhaps autocannon fed and more of a typical rush.
And unaffiliated didn't really seem to have any tackling or anything that was going to really control range on the field, so Hydra could just go wherever was most comfortable for them.
It just seemed to me that they were just like running around in confusion and just panicking, which is really disappointing for me, because I was like rooting for them.
All right, so we've had two other really hardcore groups that ended up a little bit strangely. So Raiden and AAA at the bottom of their groups, PL and Hydra at the top of theirs. Bit of an upset for the first one, at least. I think we're going to have a break now. We'll be back at 18:20. We'll have the next matches, opening with Lack of Imagination versus Black Legion. Black Legion is absolutely one of the big surprises and looking really strong. If you want to see the stats for the groups, they are up on the screen. These are the games that we've played so far today. Anyway, I think we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 40 minutes. We'll have some new experts, some new commentators, and then finish off the rest of this exciting day of Internet Spaceships.